Hi everyone, it's me, Nikki at Nikki Hearts Cards. I'm so excited to see you here today. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be unboxing something that has been in the works for a long time, and I think you're going to love it. It is a card making kit from Catherine Pooler called the Boo Box, and these will be limited supply, so I want you to see everything that's in it, make a card with me, and just get excited because her products are some of my favorites, and I cannot wait to see what's in this box. I have no idea, so I'm telling you, I know nothing about what's in it. I know it's going to have something Halloween related, but that is all that I know. So let's get right into it. I'm going to pop up in the corner so you can see my reactions and we can talk about all the products. And then towards the end of the video, when it's time to make a card, I'll put it back just on facing my hands so that you can see what we do. And we'll just try to come up with something on the fly and make a quick, easy card. Okay, let's go. Okay, here is the box, and look at this cute paper here. I'm going to grab some scissors and we're going to open it. So in my forward-facing camera, you're going to see me using this in my reactions, and then this lower camera, the bigger camera, you're going to see what I find out. So let's see what we find out here. I can start with, it's definitely very well sealed. Oh, it looks like I don't even have to open that middle part. Let's see here. I know that sometimes this is going to zoom in, and it is very well put together here. There we go. Okay, sorry. Now, let's get this big box out of here. Here we go. Oh, love you, Boo. Look at that. Okay, I'm so excited to rip this open. Let's see what we get. Okay, happy Boo Day. It's going to tell us everything that is in here, which is really exciting. So, lots of fun stuff. I'm going to go through it all. Oh, look. Some more color combos that they're using in this, and just some crafty resources, which is really cool. Okay, so fall release around the corner, 8/7. Okay, all right, let's look at the paper to start. Ooh, look at this Halloween paper. I think that I really love those ghosts the most. Ghosts the most. That's pretty funny. So I love that Catherine Pooler does this where they tell you what type of inks work the best. Okay, let's go to our next thing. I know my phone likes to zoom in. See if we can get it to zoom back out. All right, look at this stamp set here. It says that it is called Fright Night. We've got some cute sentiments. I love that. Happy Halloween. You're spooktacular. Oh, just awesome. Okay, gonna set that aside. Another stamp set. Okay. This one is called Halloween Mugshots. Oh my goodness, this is going to be fun to color. Eat, drink, and be scary. My treat, no trick. That is so cute. Look at that owl. Oh my goodness, that is so cute. Okay, now we've got some dies, which is nice. These dies are for those Halloween mugs. Let's see here. Ooh, look at these. Okay, I love that Catherine Pooler has very original sentiments. This one says Boo Day. So happy Boo Day. Don't be a stranger. You're irresistible to me. Miss you. Love you more than candy corn. Oh man, that's a great one. Okay, thanks for the memories. Thanks for not ghosting me. Oh my goodness. You're the sweetest pumpkin in the patch. I have got a treat for you. You are one special friend. Basically like a spell. That's so cute. Okay. Next, we've got a tag. Okay, we got some bats, a spider web, a nice little tag here. Very cool. Okay, that is called Haunted Tags and Charms. Okay, it looks like we've got some more dies for the Fright Night dies. This goes with this set. So we got dies. I love that you've got these potion bottles. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That is so cool. Okay. All right, let me put that back over here. Ooh, look what we got here. This says, so if I can get the camera to decide where it wants to go. Ooh, make you eek. Okay, so we got boo eek. What does that say backwards? Creepy and spooky. Okay, sorry. You can tell I have not seen these. It's a little hard to read them backwards on camera. Okay. Ooh, this is cute. That would be so cute to put those potions or like some little ghost in there. So this looks like it's an A2 cover plate, but it also has cutting lines right here. So you can cut out these individual sections if you wanted to. You can make a shaker card. That is a very, very cool die. I love cover dies like this. They're expensive and they just give you so many options. I mean, you could just cut this little square out or just do a little stitched square. That would be so cute. I think that comes apart. Let me see. Now, they're all one piece, but there is a line to cut right there. So stitched and cut. Okay, count to 6 cover plate. Oh, man. I just saw this. Cast a spell. Ooh, that is beautiful. Can you see those colors? It looks like it's got like a purple, an orange. I'll open the top for you. Black. Look at that beauty. Oh my goodness. That is going to be fun to play with. Okay. I'm definitely going to be using that. You know, I love embossing powder, and this one is an exclusive for Catherine Pooler. So I'm thinking I'm going to test this out on white and black, and then I might do the whole spider web with this sparkly stuff. How cool is that? I love background stamps. These things, you know, you don't see these as much anymore, but man, you can do so many cool embossing powder things with them. You can color them in. You can just do a lot with a background stamp that I think people forget about often. So I'm really excited about that one. Look at how cute. So this one is called In My Web Background Stamp. Okay, let's get to some card making. What do you think about this? Let me show you kind of everything that's in here, and you look at what you would pick first. I think that I would pick to use first this and this. I think that's going to be so cute. I can just see little ghost peeking out of there. Look, we could have like ghost and cats and a witch's hat. You could just do all kinds of stuff, and then you could poke them out these little areas, and you see they will fit. Nice. Okay. All right. Of course, I always am a sucker for a good sentiment, so it's nice to have those. I know I have them upside down. Sorry. Okay. We've got dies. We've got tags. It's always fun to have some cute tags for Halloween because you could put them, if you make your own Halloween bags, that's adorable. Okay. And then here is some fun sentiments, which is always needed. This is a complete card kit. Wow. So we got these mugs that we can color. Just so much fun. These mugs, let's see if the mugs fit in our cover plate. I think they're going to be a little bit too big to fit here. Yeah, they're a little bit bigger than each of those openings, so they may not fit in that, but that's fine. They're going to look so cute as the center of a, oh man, look at that. That is so cute. I just can imagine some amazing bubbles and texture that we could create with these. Oh, so cute. And then one of my favorite things about Catherine Pooler is that she tells you colors that she uses. Okay, so we know we need cotton candy, creamsicle, orange twist, catching rays, pixie dust, spiced, and midnight inks to match this paper. Okay, so I'm going to look at some of that and get it all together, and then let's make a quick card together. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to hit pause to get all my supplies ready, and then we'll get right into that video.
Okay, so if you know me, you know I love embossing powder. So we're going to use this Cast a Spell. And before I ever use an embossing powder, I always do a swatch. And I love to do a swatch on black and a swatch on white so that I can get a good idea. So this doesn't have to be super neat. It's just helpful. And these are just scrap pieces of paper that I have to see what the colors look like. So when you start pouring it out, you get a general idea that you've definitely got some orange, some purple, some black in this mix. And then I'm going to heat it up and let's look at it. So on the black, you must see the comparison of black and white. You definitely can pick up more of certain colors on the black than on the white, and I'll show you the difference. Okay, for the white, I'm using that same embossing pad and just adding a little bit of ink to the end here. And then we're going to add the powder. Now, this is the exact same powder, but notice as it goes on, once I shake this off, it's got the orange, it's got the black, it's got purple. But one color definitely stands out to me, and that is the purple on this white paper. So if you think maybe I didn't get a good mix or something like that, I did shake up the bottle, and I think it just shows up more on white than it does on the black. The black tends, the orange kind of jumps out at me on the black. So I'm going to heat this up to show you the difference, and I will set them right next to each other so that we can decide. The reason I do this is because I know that I want to use that large rubber stamp to create a background, and I know I want to heat emboss that background, but what I don't know is what color I want the background to be. So I'm going to look at these couple of options and decide which color we want it to be. Okay, so there it is, all nice and heat embossed. And yes, still to me, I can see the orange, but it still stands out as purple to me. Let's look at it compared to the black. I feel like I can see the orange more in the black color. And so now I want to take my inks and swipe and kind of decide what color I might want that background. I'm going to start with the inks that were on the pad of paper because I know that's kind of what she means to start this. So we're going to start with Pixie Dust, an orange twist, okay? And we're gonna see what these look like. And look at how perfect of a match those are. They look amazing with each other. I did grab the next lower color or lighter orange in the mix with orange twist, which is creamsicle, just to see, but I don't feel like that gives us the same wonderful like Halloween colors. So I can already tell you right now, I'm definitely gonna pick a purple background. I love purple backgrounds, and this is gonna look so amazing. So let's ink blend a purple A2 size card, and then we will stamp on top of it. So I grabbed my ink blending stuff. Now we're going to use the pixie dust and we're going to start blending. So you can do this ink blending however you want. We could have just swiped the ink across the page to create a purple background. I just wanted mine to have more of a spotlight effect. So I tend to start at the edges of the paper and blend into the center, trying to keep the center lighter than my edges. So I'm using, I guess I would call it a large size blending brush, large to medium, and I'm just adding this ink all over the piece of paper. And you don't have to be super precise on this because we know we're going to stamp over it. It's just really nice to have that light center and darker outside for the effect that it gives the card. So I'll keep blending. Okay, can you see that kind of spotlight effect? I know it's hard to catch on camera. If you want that to be even more obvious, you can always take the next color in the color family and go very dark on those outside edges. The next color after Pixie Dust, I believe, is Grape Crush. So you could always do that if you wanted to. I am going to go ahead and get ready to stamp on this. So I am placing this on my stamp wheel and on a sticky mat. I love that this has a perfect place for an A2 card so you can line it up all around. And I'm going to add it to that. And the reason I'm using this new thinner sticky mat is because with the red rubber stamp, you need a little more space than your standard grip mat. So you need to use this one if you're using a stamp wheel. Kind of like in the Misty, you need to take parts out to be able to accommodate such a thick stamp. So here's the stamp that we're going to use. I'm just kind of like rubbing off the edges, making sure that it's nice and primed. And then we're going to add it to this card. And this stamp is a nice size, so it easily covers an A2. So we're just going to put it on top, and then I'm going to use the wheel of the stamp wheel, which is the part that picks up. It's an acrylic piece, and it's going to pick this stamp up, and then we'll ink it up. And I'm going to be using the WOW embossing ink, which is a clear ink. It's going to make it a little hard for you to tell that I've stamped this. But if you don't own embossing ink and you've got this kit, if you've got Catherine Pooler inks, you could just stamp in a purple or whatever color you want and then put the embossing powder over it. Her inks stay wet pretty long, so it gives you enough time to emboss if you need to. I just happen to have the Wow embossing ink, so that's what I went with. And I know you can't see that impression great there, but you're going to see it when I do the embossing powder over it. Now this mat is sticky on the front and the back, so I have to pull it off and then I bend it so that I can easily get my paper off. Try not to touch your wet ink on your paper. That really will help. Now we'll grab our embossing powder. I am going to shake it up because it does have 3 different colors in this embossing powder, and sometimes you'll get just a spot that doesn't get all of the places. So always shake mixed embossing powder like this, and then I'm going to sprinkle it over, and you're going to see that design come to life. So I'm using a coffee filter to catch my remains. You can use a piece of paper, but you definitely want to have something that you can dump your embossing powder back into, because it really does not take a whole lot of embossing powder, and one of these bottles is going to last you a long time. So here I'm going to finish the rest of it, and then I'm going to heat it and show you how amazing it looks. Okay, a key tip to a really nice embossing powder like this is you really want to tap the back. And then if there are any little pieces, then you can use a little paintbrush, and you're not really picking them up with the paintbrush. You're getting the pieces to be anti-static, basically. So you're getting them unstuck from the back. So it's basically just touching the pieces with the brush. And then I usually blow on it. I know you can't tell that, but I blow on it to remove those extra pieces. Now you've done all that work to get the extra little pieces off the top, so don't forget to start heating from the bottom. If you go and heat the top with lots of things in the embossing powder, you're gonna spray glitter around. So make sure you've at least got your paper warm from the back and that things are starting to melt before you consider going to the front of the page. That will just save you a lot of heartache with this embossing powder. Okay, now look at how awesome that looks. You could do so many things with this piece. I think what I'm going to do is use, because it's already sparkly, I think I want to use some of the Halloween words that came and grab some sparkly. I had some sparkly black paper that I wanted to use from your paper insider. And so I'm going to cut out that off camera, and then we're going to look at how this word fits. It fits perfectly on a vertical card. It also fits well horizontally, and I always like to check that with my die about how much room is this going to take up, what else do I need. And I grabbed another die because this busy background, I sometimes like to put a little bit of vellum over it just to make my words stick out better. I'm going to grab the stamp set and stamp some ghost, and I'm going to keep these very simple. I'm stamping with VersaFine Nocturne, which is just a dark black ink, and I'm going to cut them out, no coloring. So next I'm going to stamp the witch's hat, and this is a solid stamp. So we're going to do a little bit of coloring on this. And if you haven't seen, I know I've got some tutorials on blending on your stamps. So we're going to use pixie dust and grape crush. We're going to use a regular size blending brush. You see that I often clean out the caps of my Catherine Pooler by sticking my brush in there. I don't know if yours get kind of gooey, but mine do. I'm going to add a little bit, and then I'm going to soften it with a brush. And then we'll come back in with some smaller brushes and add even darker shading to the edges. And this just really makes you have more of that spotlight look on your stamps. So you will see this as a process, but you can already see the outside edges are a little bit darker. I'm using pixie dust first, and then I'm going to come in with grape crush, and let me show you what it ends up looking like. I'm just taking this waffle flower brush, and I'm brushing in from the edges to get darker edges and like a middle that's more bright. And this is so easy to do with some type of stamping platform. You can just flip it over, stamp it, and you'll get those darker edges, and you can go back into your stamp and add as much as you want. And look at how awesome that looks. It's just so drastic. I love it. It really makes it stand out on the card. So I'm going to die cut this piece. So all our pieces are die cut, but something is still missing to me. I feel like underneath the spooky, I need some type of sentiment. So I'm holding up my stamps and just kind of looking at what fits and what makes sense with spooky. Spooky, I feel like can go with most things, but some of these, like this bigger stamp says have a spooktacular or something or another. So I'm going to go with this smaller one that says, "Hey, ghoul, hey." So we're stamping on vellum, which can be a little bit tricky. I used Midnight ink, and now I'm going to put some clear heat embossing over it so that it doesn't smear, because vellum is more of a plasticky type paper, and so sometimes inks will want to smear. So I tend to clear heat emboss over mine. This also, I think, makes it stand out just a little bit more. Make sure you have all your extra pieces off, and then you want to start heat embossing from the bottom. You need to be very careful with vellum paper. I use the number 1 setting on this heat tool. This heat tool has 2 settings, and number 1 doesn't blow quite as hard, but it's super quick, easy, and it's done. Next, we need to get our spooky on here, and I'm going to use Tape Runner. From scrapbook.com and use that to stick to this vellum, because vellum can be quite tricky. Now we're going to line up our ghost and our hat so that they're kind of partially on the vellum. That will also help us with a place to be able to stick this vellum to the card backing. When you're doing vellum, you always need to think about where and how you're going to attach the vellum. Since this is kind of like a floating piece of vellum, we're going to need to attach it and hide our attachments behind these embellishments. So behind the hat, behind the ghost, I'm using Tape Runner to adhere it to the vellum. And then we're going to use some foam tape on the back of all of these to kind of pop it up off of the back of the card just to give it more dimension. So once it's all adhered, I'm going to add the foam tape behind my ghost and behind my hat, and then we'll be able to pop it up on the card. I'm going to peel this adhesive backing off so that we've got our foam tape exposed. Then I know this is an extra little thing, but that not everybody does, but I tend to put at least a dot of glue on each of these so that as I'm laying this down on the card, I can make sure that I have a little bit of movement in case I don't lay it down perfectly straight, especially since this is a rectangle and you'll be able to tell if it's off. So key to lining up something straight is using a T-ruler. You see how I've got it down there? I'm lining this up to make sure I get everything even, and that little bit of glue allows me to kind of pick it up, put it back down without ripping the back. Okay, let's look at this final card. I just love how it turned out. Make sure that if you're wanting one of these boo boxes that you click through my link in the description. That is an affiliate link, so it does help me out. And I will also pin that link in the comments, but you're going to get on a waiting list. Then you will get an email that says, yes, it's time to order later this week. So have a great day. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.